Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Thank you for joining me for this pick a card reading on how they're currently feeling about you. So this person, the person on your mind, how are they feeling about you? What's going on with this relationship, this connection? How do they see you? And then also some guidance on what to do moving forward, because we're always about guidance and moving forward and learning and growing here. So a pick a card reading, you get to pick the card, number, object. I will be placing objects here in a moment that resonates with you. You use your intuition to pick this. Then I have got the timestamps down below in the description. Click on your number, pile, object. The timestamp, it'll take you to your reading, and then I use my intuition to read the cards for you. I use a lot of oracle cards here. There's going to be a card about the relationship in general. Then over here, I'm going to talk about them. Over here, I'm going to talk about cards about you, how they see you, and then these guys come into play, and then and I pull more cards from a love oracle. So a lot of information here. Group 1, if you like to pick with objects, I'm placing those now. This is, you can pick your heart today because I've got all heart-shaped stones. This is pink Mookite that I'm placing here on group 1. For group 2, this is clear quartz. For group 3, this is, and I'm moving it here in the light so you can see that. This is blue tiger eye. So it's very dark, but it has that, like, I think you can see it, the striations coming down and the blue in there. And for group 4, this is Jasper. Forget the kind of Jasper. Jasper is really interesting. They come in a lot of different formations, and this is one of the most interesting stones I've ever kind of seen. So I was really kind of unconscious here to go with the size of the ducks growing as it went from left to right. I didn't realize I did that until I laid them all out here. So you can also pick by size, I guess, now. So if you're still not sure though which group is for you, you can do a breathing exercise with me. I'm just gonna sit up straight, feel grounded. I have my feet my feet planted firmly on the ground. I'm gonna close my eyes and take a deep breath in and release. And I'm gonna set the intention that I'm going to hear the messages that I need to hear. Now open your eyes, and wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you. Hello, group 1. This is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. We've got the pink Mookite. We've got the number 1. This is what you chose. So I'm going to put the tarot deck over there, and we're going to start off with some oracle cards. So the first card that comes out, this is reflection. This is the, I'm going to put their cards over here, your cards over here. This is how they see you. Reflection is kind of like how they see you and their relationship. The energy of reflection supports our growth through the insights we get from the contemplations of self and others, so of them and you, which is actually a really beautiful card when you consider a relationship with somebody. You want to reflect back the same values. You want to be on the same page. You want to look in the mirror and feel like you're a team, or look at your partner and feel like you're looking in the mirror. And it's a lot of things that work and go and grow together. So I love that. This one is actually yours. They have blessed union and theirs, a time to share. We have you, they see you as Aphrodite, and them, they are or see themselves here as a waxing crescent. It's a little bit of chaotic energy. And we've got she who's wild, sauvage, untamed, wild, and mysterious for you. And for them, we've got she who flies, Valaris, dare, do, reach. So I feel like they're a little bit of a risk taker. They have like a beautiful image of who you are and what you are. Who doesn't want their person to see them as Aphrodite? They're certainly physically attracted to you and mentally attracted to you. I feel like they see you as definitely a potential partner if you are together. Like they are all in. Now they see you. I love these two little monsters here hugging each other in a flower garden. Like they just see so much beauty around you, and also some mysteriousness. They probably don't fully get you or understand you. Again, not putting you on a pedestal. There's like this mystery surrounding you. I feel like they're asking questions like, how can this beautiful person be attracted to me? A time to share. I feel like they have a problem though communicating that with you. I feel like, and that's why you're here, right? That answers the question to me, like, why, if they feel like this, are you here? Because I don't think that they tell you these things. I don't think they fully have everything together. I think they have some really high aspirations, this she who flies. I think that they have like this maybe entrepreneurial spirit behind them. They want to reach out. They want to do things. I feel like though they might be a little impulsive, and they also might like the cards are saying they need to tell you these things, they need to share, but I feel like they might be somebody who would be prone to making decisions, financial decisions, without consulting you. This waxing crescent, that goes back to our moon. Waxing is maxing, so this is going into the full moon phase. They are certainly somebody who, you know, with this waxing crescent and this Valaris, who reach for high heights. And I feel like you might be, even though they see this beautiful world with you, you might be kind of a conquest for them, a trophy. So I would just, you know, think about that. But I also see like this time to share, just the images in this, like in sickness and health, in good times and bad. I feel like they want that, like they want to be that person that is your person. They want to be that steady rock. I just don't feel like they're quite there yet. And we get the 10 of Pentacles. We get this is the Page of Pentacles reversed, Wheel of Fortune reverse, and we get the 8 of Wands reversed. So right now it might feel like things are really stagnant. If, you know, it might feel like kind of same old thing with them right now. They might talk a good game where they tell you that, you know, we're going to have this beautiful estate, this beautiful family, this this great wealth, but it's not really playing out or coming to fruition right now. There's a lot of like dreamer energy, a lot of like you know, reaching for the stars, this progressing energy, this waxing, and then when we get the Page of Pentacles reverse, there's a little bit of immaturity here. Because I don't think they fully understand the cycles that they're in and how to break out of that. Now, whether that is the cycle of I don't want to say the cycle of poverty, but certainly like there's a plateau that they're at that they want to reach past, and it's just not happening. Like their dreams here is to be able to take care of you, to take care of, you know, future children, future generations, to like have trust funds. That's the kind of thing. And it's not really progressing at the moment with the Page of Pentacles reverse. They're not making the, you know, I was talking about being impulsive, this kind of like flying too high, and that might be part of a turnoff for you, is they're not making the wisest decisions. I kind of feel like they're throwing things at a dartboard and trying to see what sticks, and right now nothing sticks. And they might be driving you a little crazy. You know, their entrepreneurial spirit is great, but it needs to be harnessed. And right now we've got Wheel of Fortune is bad luck. Wheel of Fortune is, but there's ups and downs, there's twists and turns. When we have it upright though, it's a little bit more of in our control. Like we understand that there's ups and downs and we're going to ride it out. Kind of like what I was saying with this in good times and bad times, in sickness and in health, is really kind of what I'm seeing with these cards. We understand, like, this is a cycle. We're going to write it out. This too shall pass. We've got twists and turns that come up in life. We need to figure out how to navigate those. But I feel like they're not making the best decisions. I'm not sure that they understand that. That may be a point of something that's holding you back from this relationship or continuing, because they do talk a good game and they do like really want these beautiful, wonderful things for you in your life and their life and the future. But it's just like we're stuck in a pattern where things keep repeating themselves, and it doesn't seem like it is progressing the way that it should. I feel like it is a situation of not being real. Not being real about not fully telling you, or you not being able to communicate with them. There's a communication breakdown here. And I feel like, there's a lot of potential and there's a lot of really good things, but it is a money thing. It's a money issue. It's a maturity thing. Let's see what else. I just want to get a couple more cards here. Friendship. Okay, so friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So this is about improving that connection, improving that communication, being friends first. And also I think it's important to it's fun to be put on a pedestal like you are with the Aphrodite card. It's fun to have that certain amount of like worship, but at the end of the day, that is not, conducive to like a long-term thing. And it's important right now to take a step back and spend some alone time instead of placing your focus on another. Now is the time to give to yourself. So these cards are straight savage here. I can see why there is this attachment here. I can see why it almost feels like a karmic relationship though, where, there's a lot of potential in this person. They check a lot of the boxes. There's a lot of the excitement and intrigue. They see you in the way that you want to be seen. They're interested in the way that you want a lover to be interested in you. But why is it that you need to be put on a pedestal? Why is it that you need to have this adornment around you, these beautiful flowers? Why is it that you need to feel this connection and give the love to yourself? And this might be, when I say it's a karmic kind of thing, it's again a reflection of the universe for you to figure out what is right for you and what isn't right for you. And sometimes we have these ideas of, I need to be in a relationship, or I'm going to marry this type of person, somebody who owns their own business, somebody who's a go-getter, somebody who is this, somebody who is that, somebody who is this, right? And you have this whole list of checkoffs that you really want. Somebody who treats me like I'm a goddess. But then when you get into that relationship, it's just not working. It just doesn't progress in the way that you think it should, even though some of those boxes are checked off. So you have to be really real with yourself, and and then like think to yourself, you know what? I thought that would be a good idea, but it's not. Or I thought it would be a good idea to be treated like a goddess, but in actuality, it makes this person really insecure. Or so maybe now I need to go back to my list and add in confidence. Maybe now I need to go back to my list and add in somebody who sees their weaknesses and works on them rather than makes excuses about them. Somebody who is maybe more mature, somebody who, they talk a good game here, but I don't ever want to own a Porsche or project that, because with the Ten of Pentacles here, it's kind of like, I'm getting a lot of Wall Street vibes. I'm also even kind of getting a little bit of narcissistic vibes here, where they want this image, like this image that they project. Did I say trophy? They might see you as a trophy, and you fit into this image, but does it fit with your image? That's what you need to figure out. So while they think these lovely things about you, is it working for you? Is it really working? So that's what I have for you, Group 1. The trophy wife vibes here, or trophy husband. So very image oriented, and yes, I feel like they definitely have feelings for you. They definitely find you interesting and mysterious. But is this like kind of mysteriousness that you have something that they feel like they need to tame? Something that they feel like they need to reel in, something that they feel like, oh, this person has potential, but I can, mold them or change them into the way that I see the world, rather than, move along with who you are. So looks like this one is friend zone for now. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. Please let me know if this resonates, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. This is our clear quartz. Number 2, Mystic Mondays Tarot. I'm going to put this away because we're going to start off with, we'll bring it back. It'll come back. You'll see it. We're going to start off with some oracle cards. So the first card here is your relationship and strength. The frequency of strength supports our ability to harmonize all our qualities and skills towards a strong and balanced way of being. This card I'm pulling for everyone. The first one is kind of like how they see your relationship. This is going to be them over here. This is how they see you over here. And them, our shadows are beautiful. And for you, love forgives distance. Them, we have Night Crawler. And you, we have Fae. So it's interesting, in this deck it has different suits, and this is the magic suit. So there's a magical connection here between you. And it's interesting that, you know, you each got one of those cards. Oh, this one's yours. She Who Guides, Maptula, New Path, Guide, Renewal. And then this is them, She Who Calms, Jenna, Stillness, Purity, and Quiet. So what's also interesting is the Nightcrawler in this deck comes back to strength. It speaks back to strength, inner strength, inner, you know, inner thoughts. I feel like there's somebody who, you know, our shadows are beautiful. They're working on their shadow self. They're not afraid to dig deep into their own psyche, into their own self. I feel like there's somebody who's pretty confident in who they are. They might be a little bit offbeat, off the beaten path. They might be a little bit, they might come off as a little bit secretive. I think they're more of an introvert, and then over here they see you more of an extrovert. I think they see you as somebody who pushes their boundaries a little bit, who forces them to maybe even look deeper into their own selves, which I think that they appreciate. I think that there's a little bit of more chaos over here on your side, how they see you. I don't think that's a negative. I think that they want to be your rock. I think that they want to be somebody that you come to when you need to, that you can call them whenever you want to call them. This relationship, it could be, you know, fantastic signs here to be a romantic relationship, but it also has the vibes of like a longtime friend, like somebody that you can just call up, somebody that you haven't spoken to for months, and you can just call up and pick up where you left off. Somebody who is like a high school friend, and you know that you can get together with them and they get you, they understand you. You might be from different backgrounds. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of support on either side for each of you. You may be questioning how they feel about you or what they think about you, because they are like, even though they're confident in you and your relationship, even though they really think very highly of you, it seems like they are a little bit internal. They're a little bit nocturnal. They're a little bit into their own selves, and they let you pull them out of their shell. There's a lot of resilience here. There's a lot of perseverance on their side. A lot of, you know, I feel like their life, their past has not been perfect. They may not have had the best home life as a child. They may not have had the best background, the best, you know, there's some mistreatment here on their side that has happened. Certainly, like the breaking of their heart, maybe past relationships have broke their heart. So even though you want to hear more from them and how they're feeling, or you want to, you know, you want them to open up, I feel like there is a little bit of a barrier or a boundary around them. They don't see it as a problem where you might. I feel like you're a little bit more free, you're a little bit more flowing. I think that's because you can afford to be. And I know they see that in you, and I know they feel like you accept them for who they are, but they don't feel like they need to like unload that on you. They don't feel like they need to even though you would, I think, be more than happy to let them tell you about their past, about their failures, about their heartbreak. I think you'd be open to that. And they know it. They just, you know, are okay keeping it here. They want to be the person, like I said, I think there's a little bit more of adventure vibes on your side. There's a little bit more of like, you know, you would be somebody who would move out of your small town, and they may still be there. Or I kind of feel like you push them to get out of their comfort zone a little bit. You're the one who wants to try new things. You're the one who wants to try the new restaurant. And they're fine, like, eating at home. And it feels like they're very simple. Simple in, like, they don't ask a lot. However, there's a lot of layers here. There's a lot of depth here for them. And I feel like they don't necessarily always share that with you. Because again, the introvert, but again, they just want to be your rock. They see you as a very magical being here with the Fae. Faes are very magical, but they also like, and they're fine. Again, they're fine with this. Faes can also be like chaotic, you know, very curious. Both of these cards here, the Fae and Maptula, is about adventure, about new things, about, and then I feel like you're holding their hand and then pulling them with you. Interesting that we have the dragonfly. That may be of significance to you. It may, and also wings, dragonflies, butterflies, wings. But there's a lot of imagery over here of like renewal and adventure, and you know, you're open to those things. And sometimes they may need to, like, it might be a little bit too much, even though they trust that you love them and understand them no matter what. And then the strength here. I also feel like they might be somebody who's interested in being physically strong at one time. You know, they might be doing like jujitsu, or they might be lifting weights. I feel like their body is important to them. But they definitely have a favorable view of you, even if it's kind of almost an opposites attract here thing. But they do see you as seeking excitement and fun, being definitely a little bit more loose than they are. They're very controlled and a little bit more wild. But I don't feel like they feel the need that they have to try to control you. Okay, let's see. We have Princess of Wands, Knight of Wands. We get the Three of Swords. I feel like that speaks to the past with them. And Five of Swords. I feel like them not opening up is a little bit an issue with you. I feel like you'd love to hear more communication from them. I also feel like with the Three of Swords here, that a barrier to progressing in your relationship is how they feel about their past, whether that be their upbringing, where they're from, or past relationships. And I feel like they trust you. They feel like they can tell you things. They just don't want it to be a burden, but you want to clear the air. You want them, because they're really holding things in over here. I feel like they're feeling everything. And again, I don't think they feel like it's a problem that they've got barriers between you and their relationship. They feel like this is a very strong connection. They feel like they could tell you things, and then you're over here like, okay, well then why don't you? There might be a choice for you where you have to just accept things the way that they are and appreciate them for the way that they are. Princess of Wands, Knight of Wands reverse. Physical connection between you two. I think that's holding you back because you want to know more. You want to get more into these layers with them, and you feel like they're holding back, but you feel like they're holding back in the way that they feel about you. And I would say the cards are saying they're holding back because they've, there's somebody who they don't just give their heart away easily. And the last time they gave their heart away, it was stomped on. So there are, like, you know, there's this kind of like give and take here where I feel like, you know, you're ready to take their hand and move forward. They know that, but they are really holding back. They're really holding back, and it's becoming an issue. So I almost have to, you know, you almost have to decide on if it's worth it, or if that's okay. Like, is it okay for them to hold back, or do you need to know everything? And it's a very slow burn for them. And what I mean by that is, you know, they've got these layers here like an onion, but it's not easy for them to release that. It's not easy for them to tell you what's going on in their head. Manifesting miracles, and then we'll read this one first. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. And criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So I love that this comes in over here over the swords, because the swords is about like not communicating, or you feeling like every time you speak there's a fight, even though you both know that there is love here. You both know that there's a connection here, but there is something haunting this. And it's almost like you just need to let it be. And the less you ask, I think the more that they will tell you. Manifesting miracles, your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. I feel like that's not only, you know, I kind of placed it here, but it's for you too. Like, is this okay to exist the way that you are? Do you need them to speak to you more? Do you need them to let you know more about what's going on? You have to follow your heart in this situation. And while, you know, I feel like they are very connected to you, I also feel like you might be in a long distance relationship, and that might be why I said something about physically. I feel like it's not physically hitting on all cylinders here for, you know, a romantic relationship. Maybe unrequited love a little bit here, maybe because you are in different places right now, and communication is becoming kind of strained, even though the underlying current is, you know, so that's why it's kind of like, I can see why it's kind of stuck here, where it's like, there is this strength, there is this, you know that there's like underneath here, there's this really great person who just wants to be there for you, who wants to be their rock, and they really see you in a beautiful light, and they feel like they could tell you everything, but then it's kind of like, you're over here saying, well, then why don't you? Why don't you just tell me everything? And I don't know, have you ever said that to them? Because I'm assuming female over here, male over here, and if that's not the situation, that's okay. In this situation, female over here, male over here, men are kind of stupid sometimes. You have to just tell them. You have to tell them, like, I need this. Be blunt about what you need. Don't beat around the bush, because I think they want to give it to you. They want to give you everything that you want and need, and they trust you. And in the background, you're like, well, if you trusted me, like you're thinking in the back of your mind, if you trusted me, you would tell me about these things. And in their mind, they're thinking, well, I don't want to unload this on her. Like, she's a free spirit. She's a beautiful person. She's got her thing going on. I don't want this to be a burden. And even though they don't want those things to be a burden, it just makes it become more of a burden. So you have to tell them what you need from them is what I'm getting. You might need to be blunt. You might just be like, well, tell me about that. I want to know. I feel like you don't trust me because you don't tell me these things. I think that would be a shocking thing for them to hear, because they do trust you. But you're questioning it because they're not telling you everything. And they think that they are protecting you. They think they're protecting you, and you're over here like, I don't need protection. I need like this to be transparent. I need to know everything. Transparent, like the crystal heart here. You want to see everything. You want to know everything. You want to be there. Like, yeah, there's connection here. There's some strength here, but I need to know these things. It's stifling in a way, them holding back. But you have to understand too, two-way street here. That's kind of how they are. They're very protective of their own heart. They're very protective of you. They're very protective of their past. They, the Nightcrawler versus the Fae. Like I don't know if they do trust you, but there's a level of like, okay, but if you really knew what was in their heart, maybe you wouldn't want to continue in this relationship. Where you think, I want to know what's in your heart because I think that'll just strengthen our bond. So you have to let them know, okay? And then I kind of feel like you might not be talking to them at the moment, or again, this might be a long distance relationship and you're feeling like there's just some things off because the communication isn't quite there. They don't know that you think it's off. So you have to tell them. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope that you have a day. Please let me know if this resonates. And again, this will manifest miracles. If your dream is to be in a relationship with this person, your dream is to live with this person, marry this person, carry on a lot, and have anything and everything that they have to offer, you can manifest it. Don't do it in a negative way. Don't criticize them. That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of that criticism. They've opened their heart in the past. They have been hurt in the past. And even though they trust you, there's still like that past is haunting them. It's not necessarily you. It's the situation. It's the past that's coming up. So you want to manifest this strength. You want to see the full potential of what this relationship can be. You might have to take the lead. You're the one who guides. You have to guide. Step up and guide. Let them be your rock. That's okay. That's what they're happy with. But you might have to guide them in a way. You might have to ask some leading questions. You might have to be like, hey, you never told me about, this thing, that your high school sweetheart, whatever. What's going on there? Trust me. Trust me with your heart. You can trust me. So you might have to open up a little bit to get them to open up as well. So that's what I have for you, group 2. Again, let me know if this resonated for you, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading on how they're currently feeling about you. And we've got, this is the blue tiger eye. Just moving it here in the light so you can see the different hues in there. Number 3, or if you picked this deck. What is this deck? I forget the name of this deck. Beautiful deck though. Anyway, you're in the right spot. But we'll get to that deck in a moment. I'm going to pull a bunch of cards here and then we'll pull that deck out for some clarity. However, we are going to start with your relationship, the energy between the two of you, and then their cards, your cards. Forgiveness. So the energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. I feel like there's a need for it here. Remember, forgiveness isn't necessarily about them. It's about you. It's about you not carrying these unwanted feelings and emotions. It's about you letting go. You don't have to forgive somebody for them. You forgive somebody for you so that it is something that no longer holds you back. For them, we have ebbs and flows. And for you, we've got the truth comes softly. So I don't feel like there's a very steady connection between you. I feel like there's a like maybe love bombing and then pulling back and you're like, what the heck is going on? You just want to be like, you know, steady flow. You just want everything out in the open, and they're very secretive. Pride. It could be a narcissist. And then Rose. You know, I feel like there's certainly an attraction towards you. They certainly hold you in high esteem. They think that you're very attractive. I think they're attracted to your heart. I think that they see this truth and this purity coming from you, but not necessarily because they're matching it. I kind of feel like they are gaslighting you. This is you. This is she who unfolds. And them, she who knows. Wisdom, clarity, resolution. They know. They know who they are. But I don't feel like they're fully exposing it to you. You know who they are. I was like this gaslighting over here. This kind of like the love bombing, gaslighting. I don't think that they are in the... and I think that's why you're here. I think that's why that leaves you confused, because you're like, on one minute, they're like all about you. They're telling you how wonderful you are. They're telling you how beautiful they see you. And then the next, they're off doing their own thing. And it really has more to do with them than it has to do with you. They know what they're doing. They, deep down, but their pride is in the way. Their pride is in the way. This narcissism, this how they want the world to see them, that's what's holding them back from any meaningful relationship. Not with you. It's not you. It's them. And they know it. Even if they point fingers at you, even if they say, I don't think that they say the kindest things to you. She who unfolds, she's also wrapped in blankets here. She has this protection around her. She has this comfort around her. Rose also speaks to self-care. So there's a lot of like you, and then forgiveness as well. There's a lot of you. First of all, I think you need to forgive yourself, because there's charm over here. There's a lot of charm, and again, that ebb and flow, that back and forth, that like, oh yes, I'm totally into you, I'm not. And this whole like mixed signals thing, and even though you know the truth, you know who they are, they come and they try to explain, they make excuses, whatever it is, you forgive them. Forgive yourself for that. Just because you're a kind, loving, genuine, sweet person, that's what you're expecting them to be. And there's just something under the surface where they cannot, are self-sabotaging. They're self-sabotaging. They know what they're doing. And they know you know. But they're not really ready for the light to shine on that. Get some cards here. Okay, Emperor reverse. Yeah, very controlling energy with the Emperor reverse. Somebody who's more concerned with their image than what they are actually doing. Very vapid. Not the depth. Look at this. King of Pentacles in reverse 2. 2 of Cups. 2 in reverse. Oh my gosh, and the Tower. Yeah, blowing this whole thing up. This was not built on a foundation that you thought it was. You thought this was a connection, the 2 of Cups. But that ebb and flow, that back and forth. Sometimes I get into these cards, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should say that. But confirmation. Super controlling, super, you know, you shouldn't be bending to their will, because they are not, who they say they are. They're not presenting. And once you get to know them a little bit more, you know that. And the Tower here kind of holding on to it, it's time to release it. Balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one where both supports and challenges. And over here, there's not support for you. There's not. And I feel like these cards are like all about you moving forward, because look at this, new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. And that's, we've got to forgive this negative energy. We've got to really let it go, because your new beginning, you don't want to hold on to that. You don't want, it's holding back. It's holding you back. It is, and it's not about you. It's about their, you know, the Emperor reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed. It's about an insecurity that they have. You cannot control other people. You can only control yourself. And if you cannot love them, and I feel like you opened your heart and you wanted to give them everything, it was there for them, and you're like, how can you abuse that like that? Yeah. But I hope this doesn't develop any insecurities on your part, because it's not your insecurities, it's theirs. And in fact, I feel like they're projecting that on you. I feel like they're projecting those insecurities on you. And the whole like gaslighting, the whole like love bombing, you know, you forgive it because then they come back, and they come back super strong. Things will be different. Yeah, they're going to be different, because you're moving on. You need to move on. Forgive this, let it go, move on. Of course, it's hard, because, you know, you spent a lot of time and energy building this. You spent a lot of time and energy into this. You put a lot of effort into this, and they just sucked it up. They just sucked it up. Because it felt good in the moment. They felt like really great when they were love bombing you, really great. They had a lot of potential. You could see that potential. But potential is not like, it was an illusion. The potential was an illusion. And this Two of Cups here, this love reading, we want Two of Cups upright. It's in reverse. It is not what you thought it was. It is not what you need. And it's almost, again, the forgiveness, it's not your fault. And you could blame them, sure. And if you need to right now, do it. But eventually, you can't be attached to this energy anymore. It's negative energy that you need to let go. You're a bird. You need to fly. I love this. She Who Unfolds. We have this little bird on your shoulder here. It could be difficult too, because I think you had friends and family tell you it wasn't what it seemed, and you're like, no, but this person, they you know, they did this and they did that, and it was so thoughtful, and then they, you know, dropped off for 2 weeks, and then they told you were crazy. Yeah, this is not okay. Show yourself the self-love. And I do feel like they have a favorable view of you. I do feel like they know that you see them for who they are. But they don't want to be seen that way. Deep down, they don't want to be that way. They have to actually change, though. And they're not changing at the moment. And that's why they gaslight you. I don't think it's anything about you. It's all about them. It's all about them. And we're not having that back and forth, that ebb and, you know, that good ebb and flow that we want. We have that like overly love bomb, and then they pull it back. We have that overly, like whenever it suits them, to connect. It's not a supportive connection for both of you, and it needs to be if it's going to be a good relationship. Okay. I'm so sorry, group 3. I'm so sorry. I hope this helped though, because you putting boundaries around yourself, you loving yourself, you putting yourself first, you forgiving yourself. It's all about you and yourself. You finding this balance, like the true balance, because as much as like it's not here, it can be for you in the future. But you can't pull this negative energy into future relationships. Leave it here. Leave it where it is. You have your person out there. Your person is out there. This person, they do think you're attractive. They do think favorably of you. That's why they keep coming back, and they keep trying to. That's why they're lying to themselves and you. Okay, but you know the truth. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust you. That's what I have for you. So I hope that you have a fantastic day. I hope this helped. Please let me know if this resonates, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 4. This is Jasper. If you liked that heart, or the number 4, or the Mons Tarot deck, you're in the right spot. But we will get to this in a moment. We're going to just put that aside. We're going to start off with some oracle cards. So the first oracle card that I pulled for each group, one of these, and then your person's going to be over here. How they see you is going to be over here. And we have freedom. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. So that talks about your relationship. We could go in a couple different ways. So let's get out the other cards. So over here, the first card that comes out for you is Plight of the Wanderer. And for them, we have, what did we lose? With a question mark. That's for your person. For you, we have Sacral Chakra right here. And for them, we have Zombie. Maybe some of this is coming together and making sense for you, but I will be reading the cards as well. She Who Dreams, Isra, Escape Dreams, Fantasy, and then She Who Surrenders, Estefania, Chains, Bondage, and Release. So what I am seeing here right away with what did we lose? I feel like the card is here for a couple reasons. First of all, the question, freedom kind of feels like this is a connection where you are both free at the moment, not necessarily together. Freedom is wonderful in a relationship because you feel like you can be yourself. What is that expression where if you love something, let it go. If it returns, it's yours. Or if it never returns, it's not. There's also that song from the 80s, Hold On Loosely, but Don't Let Go. So each person needs to have their freedom, and I think they see that you especially do. You need to be you need to be yourself. You can't be saddled with like the bondage or their attachments to you. Here over in the Dreamer card, and the Wanderer as well. You're somebody who is I kind of think that they see a confidence here in you. They see you know what you want, and there is definitely a lacking on their side. There's and I don't know if they're necessarily expressing this to you, which is why we're asking questions today. What did we lose? This card is so interesting we have two people looking into like the depths here, looking into ourselves. There's another message with this card is like, what's for you is for you. So if this is a connection where you would like to reconcile, but you're currently not together, I don't think that that's necessarily, like, I feel like you can manifest that. I feel like you can bring that into fruition, because I feel like they certainly, I mean, look at these cards over here. You know, a part of pulling the cards is not only what they mean, but the images that are involved in it. I feel like kind of both of you are like, they're very, other than this, what did we lose? Singular. They're very, but you know, if we're talking about like the loss of your relationship, the loss of your togetherness, you both are probably asking that question. I do feel like, I feel like they think you've moved beyond them. I also feel like they are very, the sacral chakra, this is where it's coming from. I think that they see you as a very sensual, a very sexual being, and somebody who has a lot of dreams and potential and the ability to go out and get those things. But I feel like in some way they may not, it's not that they don't share your dreams, but there's some stuck here. There's either they're stuck because they feel like they've lost you. I feel like there is some depths to them that they have yet to discover or reconcile or recognize. I feel like with the plight of the wanderer, the other thing with this is I feel like they've also put a lot on you. They put a lot of pressure on you. You might be the person in the relationship, or were the person in the relationship who was paying the bills, who was cleaning the house, who was taking care of things. And there's a little bit of like, very, I don't want to say lazy, but definitely stagnant energy over here, where they're not moving forward or they're not progressing with you the way that you would want them to. The zombie card, I feel like in the relationship, they may not have seen it. They may have been ignorant to what they were doing. They may have just been like, the zombie's not thinking about the same things that you're thinking about or dreaming about, or this go-getter energy over here. The zombie is kind of clueless and not very happy. They may have been somebody who put their happiness on you. And again, I feel like they really feel a loss here. This freedom that they have is not necessarily something that they wanted to have, especially when we have this chains and bondage here with Estefania. I feel like they were really clingy and attached to you in probably a not very healthy way. Avoidance, there's a level of avoidance with the zombie. And not facing reality, which is what you really want them to do. And I kind of see like the chakras here, the sacral chakra, but all of the chakras, like you're aligned, you're balanced, and their insecurities is what kind of burdened you or messed with the relationship or messed with their own freedom. I think of anything else here that I want to, or that's coming through that I want to bring up. There's a level here of the forgotten, like what's forgotten. Sometimes in a relationship, we get so wrapped up in the relationship and the other person that we kind of forget ourselves a little bit. So I feel like there's some of that. And I don't know if it's something that they were insecure about, they didn't feel like they wanted to share with you, because I think they do really see you as this I think they see you as a fantasy almost. And this dream. And I don't know if they really know the full you. I think they have a very good idea of you, but I don't know if this is, if you know, they're not really grounded in reality. And I feel like they wanted you to fix their problems. But, you know, with, like I said, with the zombie here, there's like an avoidance of their problems. They're not really thinking of their problems. And I feel like they're almost sitting here in their problems and not facing it or not fixing it, because I feel like there is some blame on you from them. I feel like they want to push those burdens on you. Now, should they? No. Should you take that? No, absolutely not. But I feel like, you know, I hope that this is coming up to help you out, to help you move forward and figure out what you want to do with this connection, because, you know, I feel like you're, you know, yeah, the whole, like, the blame thing. I don't think you should have to carry that. You shouldn't have to carry that blame. We get the Knight of Wands. I feel like that's what I said over here with the sacral chakra, kind of the, I think they really miss you physically, if this was a physical relationship. And I feel like maybe that kind of overwhelmed them in a way. I don't think they're going to change anytime soon. So if you're hoping that this reading, you know, that they would progress forward and change, it's kind of like they're stuck. They're holding on. They're not seeking higher knowledge here in the Hierophant. They're not connecting kind of in the same values that you have. And the Seven of Wands is feels like an ultimatum. Like an ultimatum was made here. But also Seven of Wands I see as boundaries. Like you probably do, if you don't have boundaries, you need to have some boundaries. We teach people how to treat us, and I don't feel like they were treating you that great. And sometimes we have to walk away and seek our own freedom. To teach people a lesson. Right now, I don't think that they have learned it. I don't think that they have, like again, of course they miss you physically. Of course they miss, you know, your sensuality. They're very attracted to you in that way. But I feel like there's other things that they're just blaming you for. And again, the whole like fantasy, that fantasy piece, that fantasy portion. But the Four of Pentacles and the Hierophant reverse tell me that they're not in the realm of change. That has nothing to do with you. You know, a lot of times in relationships and things that aren't going out the way that we want them to. And I feel like when we're asking questions like, how are they feeling about me? Because you're getting mixed messages, because I feel like there's some mixed messages here. And they're just, it's one of those relationships where you need to stand firm in your boundaries and what you want and what you will tolerate and what you will accept. And right now they haven't learned that lesson. They haven't moved forward. The zombie, the bondage, the connection, the looking here, they want you to help them look into themselves. You can't do that. You over here are responsible for you. What did we lose? They need to ask that question of themselves. I think they are, and right now they're a little bit in denial and pinning it on you. This is Estefania, she who surrenders. Like, she is just not happy, if you can see that. There's like a chain here, and she's got a letter, and she's very much living in the past, very much living in maybe the past you the past relationship, the past version of you. And I feel like you have evolved and moved forward. You expected them to as well. And it just didn't happen for whatever reason, because they're stuck. The Four of Pentacles talks about being stuck. The Hierophant in reverse talks about not seeking that advice that they need. If you were going to counseling, or you suggested counseling, if your relationship was at that point, I don't think that they wanted to go. I think that they were just like fine. It's working fine with them blaming you for everything. It's working fine with you handling everything and doing everything. But it was exhausting. It's exhausting, the Seven of Wands here. Twin flames, your passion ignites. Okay, I had another reading. I talked about twin flames. So this is, again, very, very mixed messages, because twin flames is one of those, gosh, you can pull up twin flames on the internet and get so many different interpretations of it. In one instance of twin flames, it talks about like, this is who you're destined to be with. In another instance of twin flames, it's like, well, you'll never be with them, but they teach you valuable lessons. In my own, how I read twin flames is, I feel like it's one of those things, one of those terms that gets thrown around like, but they're my twin flames. So then you accept all of the crap that they throw at you. Now, that doesn't mean that if they change, that you can't give them another shot if you want to. But I'm telling you, like, all of these other cards, it seems like the twin flame piece is very toxic. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. And I feel like this is more real, because there's a lot of turmoil in here. And I just want to go back to this twin flames thing too. This card coming out with anybody else, they would interpret it a different way than I just did. But you can watch reading number 1, I think it was, where I talked about twin flames, and I said the exact same thing to them as I'm saying to you about the toxic nature behind some of these ideas, the soulmate, the twin flames. I think it's a beautiful idea sometimes, but at other times I feel like it gets thrown around so that somebody who, and I'm not necessarily seeing a narcissist here, but somebody who's like really narcissistic or manipulative can latch on to somebody else. But we're twin flames. You have to accept all of the crappy things that I'm doing to you in our relationship, because we're connected spiritually. And there might be a spiritual connection here. And especially when we have this card talking about there being a higher purpose, because I feel like there is a lesson here. There's a lesson about teaching people how to treat us. There's a lesson for you about your boundaries. There's a lesson for you about your value and your worth and what you will accept. And even though I think they do value you, they don't treat you that way based on these cards. They're not progressing. They're not coming up to your level. They're just stuck over here, and they're fine with you shouldering all the burdens. The Seven of Wands and the plight of the wanderer here. This is you carrying everything. What was it? I think it was a mime. There was some video of a mime, and I think they were at like an aquarium of all places. So this mime was doing this thing, and this woman was carrying a baby, and she was carrying like the whole like backpack and everything that goes along with the baby, and her husband was like walking behind her, and the mime stopped her, and he took the like bag off of her shoulder and he handed it to the guy. Like, that's what I'm seeing here. It's like because I feel like you are very strong, and I think they see you as very strong. However, they just, you know, you're not doing them any favors by doing everything. There's lessons in this for them as well. And I think you trying to teach them, like you shouldn't be, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't be in the position of being their teacher. You shouldn't, other than like, hey, these are my standards, this is how you treat me, and I'm not going to accept anything less than that. And they're like, well, fine, I'll take my little pentacles here and go home. I'm not going to listen to you. I feel like that's kind of like their personality is, but they need to learn really what they're losing. And even though, again, I think they do value you, they don't have the skills to figure it out at this point. Will they at some point? Probably. Will you be around and interested? Maybe not. Maybe not. Because, so yeah, the freedom that came out here, I feel like it's a good thing to be free. It's a good thing to support your limitless possibilities. I feel like over here is kind of an anchor. I feel like the attachments over here, it's not an attachment where it is helping you progress. I think it's an attachment where it's holding you back. And if that would be different if the Hierophant was upright. It would be different if we had a different card other than the Four of Pentacles. I mean, look at how they're just standing on kind of like hoarding everything. I feel like this person wants to hoard you. And they may be somebody who has kept you from your friends and family, or has attempted to. That might be just for some of you. But they have like a hoarding personality. They have a they're in an area of lack, and that might be because you are separated, and so they are really fully feeling that lack of you at the moment. There is some pain over here. There's some pain, but they're doing it to themselves. They need to, but they're trying to tell you that you're doing it, and you're not. It's not you. It's not you. It's them. I feel like that's the theme of all of these. But even though there's different messages and different ways that the person is thinking, because, you know, we're looking at their insecurities and what they're thinking and why this relationship isn't working from their perspective or from their actions. So that's what I have for you, Group 4. Let me know if this resonated or helped you in any way. And thank you for being here.